2 years ago, I decided to reset my fitness journey and start working out regularly again. And for the first time in my life, I didn't actually give up after a few months. And in doing that, I found a way to exercise regularly without hating your life, to actually look forward to and be happy about living an active lifestyle. And in this video, I want to show you how you can do the exact same thing. So we're going to talk about how to convince yourself to start over and try again, even if you think you've failed at exercise in the past, how to push through the first few weeks when it's kind of hard and new and start forming a new habit, how to deal with setbacks like getting injured or sick or traveling for a while, and how to actually make this a long-term lifestyle. I think this approach is going to be so much better for people with ADHD because I've actually identified the biggest thing that's holding most of us back from completing our fitness goals. See, if you imagine restarting your fitness journey right now, going to the gym, and you have some type of goal, let's say lose 10 kilos or have a firm butt or really nice muscles, right? Every time you show up to work out, you'd be thinking about how much there is between you right now and your goal. Like there is a gap and it's filled with all the reps you'll have to do, all the exercising, the dieting, the fasting, calories. It's a lot. Just thinking about all of that makes me want to sit on the couch because our brains evolved to conserve energy. For most of human existence, that was hard to come by, and you didn't want to waste your precious calories squatting at the gym or going for a walk. And what's worse is those things don't really give you dopamine until after they're finished. So for ADHD brains, there's nothing really exciting about it. But what if you decided to not have a goal and instead go to the gym with the idea of just showing up? Then the gap would be tiny. You could fill it in seconds. If you start the exercise, it's a win. If you finish, it's a win. Burn a few calories, get a personal best. Everything you do from that point on is a win. And that is a mindset that's loaded with dopamine, a real studied fact. Especially for ADHD brains. Your one goal should be to just show up as often as you can for as long as you want to. And you will get those results eventually anyway, I promise you that. But for now, that's all you have to do. So how do you even convince yourself to start and try again? If you've been discouraged or feel like you have failed in the past, what do? That's where this gap thing really comes into play. Because if the gap is tiny, you won't be having to force yourself to break your body or starve to get to your elusive fitness goals. No, you're just going to try and show up more. Whether it's walking or dancing or yoga, you just want to choose something that's fun and doable and you can actually see yourself starting to do right now. Like today, you would be able to do it. So for me, that was walking. I started with doing short walks around my block. And then over time, the walks became longer and longer, and I even started to go on some nature hikes. It has to be really simple in the beginning because you also don't want to have that mental load of, oh, how do I figure this out exactly? What do I do? Are the people going to look at me strange when I go to exercise? So you want something that is really simple. And also, you want something that is fun. So for my walks, I would watch YouTube videos, listen to music, an audiobook, a podcast, call my friends, going to a really nice cafe at the end of the walk and getting a croissant that I love. There has to be something fun and rewarding in the exercise in itself. That way, it won't really even feel like exercise. So for me, it didn't. Even on like the 10-kilometer hikes at some point, I was just having fun and being fully engaged in the moment. So the only problem becomes how to actually make this a habit. Because in the beginning, it could be a little bit new. You could struggle to actually fit it in your schedule. Maybe you don't know how to make it fun for you yet. Like it takes a bit of experimentation because building habits is hard. It takes time and repetition. Even for something that is as addictive and easy as smoking, it takes time and repetition to build that habit. Like it doesn't happen in a week. So how do you actually make this a habit? Not smoking. Exercise. I started with a challenge from my health insurance. It was 60,000 steps per week for 12 weeks, which is a bit high in hindsight, but they offer some money and it was summer and I was having fun with it. So I managed to complete the challenge and that helped me get my time and repetitions in. So by the end of it, I loved walking. I actually wanted to walk and I didn't want to sit on the couch all day like I did in the past. So 1, you want to set yourself a challenge and commit to it for 30 days. And 2, track your progress to make sure that you're showing up. You could do a weekly step goal like me, or have some kind of fitness tracker or an app. As long as it makes you excited and want to crush the challenge, that's perfect. And then you take that and you complete your very first 30-day challenge. You celebrate yourself because that is really, really awesome. And you do it again and again, maybe 2 to 3 times, because it takes about 2 to 3 months to actually start building a habit. But by the end of it, you won't be the same person. I know I make it sound easy, but you do want to do something doable and fun, and you can use all the help you can get. You can tell your friends, maybe they can do the challenge with you, maybe they can just be emotional support or accountability. We use anything that you have on hand to help you, and that will make it a lot better as well. But what if you get sick, or you have to travel, or you just get really busy and you can't stick to your challenge right now? You need to take a break. Getting back on track might feel like a really big task that is huge and overbearing. Like, it just makes you want to sit back on the couch again, almost like those fitness goals where the gap is huge. So that's why a lot of ADHDers will do a challenge or get a lot of progress and then get injured and just quit altogether, because it feels like getting back means you have to get back all the progress you made, which is a lot. So if that ever happens again, I want you to go back to your most recent challenge or the one before that, the one that feels doable, and make a new habit tracker for it, and then restart the challenge. So you're taking away the focus from the giant thing of getting back on track and putting it on, what can I do today? How can I make progress today? And what's even better is if you combine it with, what will I get out of it today? So let's say I've been sick at home for 2 weeks and I haven't been outside. Finally, I can go for a walk and listen to all those YouTube videos that I missed. That sounds really fun and exciting. And then you just put on your shoes or roll out your yoga mat or put on your dancing song without thinking too much. And I promise you, 5 minutes in, you won't care even half as much as you cared before. And 5 days later, you won't care at all. Once upon a time, you got set back. Now you're back on track. It's fine. You will get there in the end. But what if you lose motivation, or you hit a plateau, or you can't see the results that you wanted to see fast enough? And that's the reason you get set back. It's internal. That's a really valid concern, because motivation gets us to do things, and ADHD brains don't have a lot of it to go around. So if you're running on motivation, you will run out of it. And also, plateaus are a normal thing too. So of course you're going to worry about it, but you shouldn't have to worry about it. And that's the whole point I'm trying to make with this video. I want you to be physically active by doing things you enjoy regularly. And if you do that correctly, you shouldn't need motivation or fast results to keep going. You should be showing up anyway. And that will, over time, 100% get you those results. So that's all we need to be focusing on, which leads us to the most important question of the whole video, which is, how do you actually make this a lifestyle change? What do you do after your first challenge? Like, maybe you get really good at walking and now it's a habit. Great. Do you just keep doing that forever? Because that doesn't really sound good. It sounds boring. I did my walking challenge in the summer, and that was really great and fun, and I loved it. But in the winter, it was cold, it was muddy. I hate the cold and the muddy, and I didn't really enjoy myself at all. So I wasn't doing it as much, just as I thought you. You shouldn't be trying to do something that you don't enjoy. And therefore, I didn't do it. I did a bit of research and I got a treadmill for inside the house that I could put under my standing desk. And I used it for working, for playing games, for calling friends. I even started doing specific walking workouts on it with like music. And that made me enjoy it again. That was actually fun and something that I wanted to do. So that's what I did all winter. I also started doing yoga, which in itself is already really enjoyable. Like, it's relaxing, it makes your back hurt less, but it's also really good for being stronger, being more flexible and mobile. But also, I wouldn't be opposed to watching YouTube videos while doing it with a friend on a call or something. Anything that could make it even more fun, maybe an audiobook, I would use that. And then I was able to also fall in love with yoga. So I've been doing it almost every single day since then too. But over time, I even added kickboxing, strength training, calisthenics, and jogging, which is so weird to say because cardio was my biggest fear for the longest time, but it does work. So now I'm convinced there's a way to make every type of exercise enjoyable, but you might have to get a little creative. And I guess doing that, I look better now too. I kept the weight off, I got my muscles, I'm doing good times. I have lowered my resting heart rate and things like that from doing cardio. I feel so much better, but what is more important is I actually don't hate my life. And I'm not forcing myself to do it, which means I'm actually going to stick to this long term. And I'm really excited for when I know my exercise is coming up. I can't wait to go do a jog in a moment. And that is the way, I promise you. If you do things this way, 100% you will reach your fitness goals, but you will also get so much more out of it. So if you're feeling ready to give this a go, a solid ADHD-friendly morning routine will help you make all the difference. And if you want to learn how to make one that is perfectly fitted to you, that helps you have a successful day and complete all of your goals, you should definitely watch this video.